thing is going the way it's supposed to go. So make sure of it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make sure. Because if you don't make sure, there'll be things that don't work. And that shit right there is just fucking aggravating. It drives you crazy, because you want to do certain things a certain way, and you find that there are certain things that you can't do the way that you want to do them because that's just what it is. But that's neither here nor there, my peoples. You come here to be entertained. Now, I don't know how bad the connection gonna be. It might be good. It might be bad. See, I don't know. I have no idea. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and tell my peoples that if they wanna come and join me here on the YouTube, they come join me on YouTube. I don't hear this. It's like you're listening to commercials and shit. Anybody who feels like hopping on YouTube channel, Norwood Without Chaos, NOWC, once again, that's on YouTube. Gonna go live again. Because why the fuck not? It was mine. See if I can get some people to come over and chill with us. Internet sex in here for some strange reason. I don't know what it is. So cool, but whatever, it is what it is in this room. Added 2 new hot sauces to the repertoire of hot sauces. Still got, I think, 5 more to go. Added 2 new ones though. The Nasty with 2 E's by Mr. McNasty. Told me to make it, so I did. It's hot as shit too. God damn, it's hot. He did some slow boil, cooked the peppers down, like reduced them real low. Add a little water to them. Fire. God. It's hard to explain. It's a saddening thing. I feel very, very sad about the burning in my face from it, because it was hot. It was real hot. The other one is called, tell me, give me a name quick. She said, Jalatina. Strawberries and kiwi. Habanero. I guess the sweet. Hot. Well, I don't know what her mind was thinking, but that's what she named it. So, ran with it. Now, I have a feeling that we might have a guest today. Mr. McNasty was talking shit about coming down here and, doing his Mr. McNasty stuff, which he doesn't always do, but he said he's gonna do. So, I guess I just gotta see if he's really gonna do it. Anyway though, folks, shit, I don't know. We put on some
scary music in the background real quick, you know, because like scary music is kind of cool in a scary place, like a shed. Scary things have happened today. Things I wasn't expecting to have happen. I can hardly breathe. Oh God. I can hardly breathe. For myself. A little medicine makes the terror of what I'm about to tell you next really easier to deal with. You know, and I'll tell stories until we have enough people on, and if someone decides they'd like to change the subject at that point, if I'm in the mood to do so, we can do just that, folks. Oh, I thought I was about to sneeze. Oh shit, I hate that. Yes. The darkness. I like the darkness. It's interesting. It's dark. All types of things go bump in the night. You know? I remember one time I was walking down the stairs. It was windy. There's a tree outside. The light shined in the window just right, and shadow looked like a ghost man. And then I heard a bump in the glass. It scared the shit out of me. Literally, shit fell right out of me. Ran down the stairs, trying to escape. The smell was terrible. Saw my pants. Wasn't too happy about it. It was a saddening thing. I was rather embarrassed. I was rather embarrassed. There wasn't much I could say to anybody about it, you know. How do you tell people you shit on yourself because you were scared of a tree you thought was a ghost? It wasn't a ghost. And, you know, and you just, you don't like it. It's bad. It's bad. You don't think about these things normally because, you know, thinking about stuff like that, shitting yourself, is rather embarrassing. And nobody ever wants to think about that. You know, you don't want to be that guy because who wants to be that guy? If I had to be that guy, well, you know, I'd be pretty damn pissed off about it. In a way that would make you think of me and, well, probably the way you're going to think of me after I tell you my story of survival. It's a story of backstabbery, betrayal. Now, I'm not proud of the things I'm going to tell you. Little new things, you know, we're wandering the wilderness, searching for food for the families left behind. In the village, it's terrible times, cold. Food was scarce. We set out looking for anything we could find. Desperate times. Desperate. COVID killed all the essential workers. There's none left. No essential people. We were all non-essential. Whatever that means. How do you decide who's essential and non-essential? Almost sounds like they're trying to mask. Allow us to panic for something that we had some control over, rather than panic over something we have absolutely none. They knew human beings would eventually crack under the pressure of COVID and quarantines and the hope of one day having a vaccine that would save us. Only to find out that it wouldn't. It's scary. Thoughts. Didn't pay attention to what was really coming. I remember looking into the sky one day and it was oddly dark, but bright at the same time. It's hard to explain. It's like a shadow, but a bright shadow. And by the time that we noticed it, it was too late. It was too late. There was wonder. What would happen when it finally hit the ground? Would it hit ground? It was minutes. The shockwave, I remember it. They say it hit someplace in the South Pacific. Tsunami, unlike those ever seen, wasn't seen. You ask why? Large object smashes into the ocean. It should create a wave. Well, that would have been the case had the immense heat of the asteroid not flash boiled the oceans. Steam cooked everything. Birds, humans, plants. Smelled good from a long distance away. It's like a huge barbecue. Seafood. It smelled like hot dogs and sausages. Then we saw this wall of steam. It's traveling at fast speed. So fast. There's no escaping it. By the time you realized what it was too late. You were steamed. Some of us tried to escape the path of the steam by hiding inside buildings. Like, that was going to help. Steam. Just got in anyway and cooked them. Sat homes. Someone underground, they were smart. They realized that since the steam was traveling on the surface, this gaseous element try to float away. We dug. That's what we did, like moles. We dug into the ground for our survival. We lived there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after, trying to survive and live. Food became scarce. Vegetation, almost none. You can't grow plants without light. Fungus, yes. Mold and spores. Whole entire diet of us humans just changed. Some of us that couldn't accept change were cast away out of the caves into the above ground world of heat and steam. See, the steam just continued to rush across the planet's surface, collecting the sunlight and heat, trapping it in with the greenhouse gases, created a steam storm that was large, the size of the African continent. It traveled across the earth, the west by northwest pattern, constantly, 500 miles per hour, just flew through the entire world, steamrolling everything. Those that weren't able to escape underground, when it came, were immediately cooked and steamed. And some of us would go to the surface and eat them. I mean, what else could we do? We had to live. And what else could we do? It was unfortunate sometimes people would put their children up there and cook them on purpose. You would tell some they'd end up with a steamed hand or fingertips trying to hold the baby still. It was sick. The world had become such a vile and sick place. They don't. Until something really bad happens. In the middle of your broadcast. You're sitting there staring at the television like, really not happy with the fact that your commercial has interrupted the programming that I'm watching.
You get mad. You're like, what can I do to not have this happen again? Because I don't like being in the middle of a show, enjoying what I'm seeing, and then somebody comes up here and tries to sell me some shit that I'm not really thinking about. I don't care to see interrupting my show. I'm not happy with this. Well, what can you do? There's not much you can do. You can do nothing. Nothing but sit there like a jackass, watching whatever it is that they're forcing you to watch. Commercial about food you don't eat. But now you want it because you've seen it. It's been programmed into your mind. Drink this, eat that. You're allergic to gluten. Plant-based food tastes great. Oh God, the programming. Damn it. Constantly bombarded. I feel trapped. They're everywhere. They sound like voices, but they're not. Signals. They're chips in our head you didn't know about. They put them there. Well, thinking we're crazy. We're picking up the transmissions. The overseers, the watchers, the listeners, the takers. Yes, depict what they do. There's no need for all these crazy labels. We like things quick, to the point. There's no time for all the things that can be lost in translation between people. If I say taker to another guy in another language and make a gesture of take, he knows what I mean. Those people that take things are coming. We should run and hide. Hiding doesn't always work. I hid for years. They found me. They forced me to work in their camps. I hated working all day. They tell you that you like the work. You program your brain to like it. You wake up every day and you're happy to go. You're so happy to go you skip breakfast. You gotta get to work on time. Eating is not necessary anymore. You're starving yourself to death for this job. You're working. You're working, work. You're catching the bus. Walking. Shoes that hurt your feet. They have holes in them. Maybe things will get better for you. But if you don't do that, then I guess it's just your fault. That's what they tell you. You live with it. As all the gold makes the rule. And that's the golden rule. The golden fucking rule. I believe in the rule of chaos. He who controls the chaos controls the order. Found an enclave of people with my thinking. There were 6 of them. I made 7. Now you're probably saying, what is the significance of the number 6 or 7? There is no significance to either of those numbers. The significant number is 8. 8 points to the star of chaos. Without those 8, there's no balance. Without the balance, there can be no order. So, in order for chaos to fully roam, there must be 8 of them. And 8 of them will roam and create chaos. And in this chaos, order will be found. How you did this? Well, the places that were terrible, you made even worse. They liked the chaos, so you give them more of it. Soon they scream for order. To the ones with all the order, you give them even more order. Even more. Eventually, they're screaming for chaos. It's like quarantine. Everybody was out running about, acting like fools. Then you shove them in a house to save them from themselves and death. What happens? They lose their fucking minds. They wake up some days, they go and grab guns and load many bullets in them. And they decide to walk into grocery stores or schools and shoot people. Well, while in the places of chaos, or more chaos, we must bring an end to it. When they did, order was found. And where there was once chaos, order took over. And where there was order, now was chaos. The balance restored. the 8 points at the start shifted. But always 8. Remember, the number is significant for a reason. You have to have 8. 8. 4 horsemen of one side and the 4 horsemen of the other. Some of the things that I tell you are things that I believe in loosely. Other things I believe in full-heartedly. And I believe in chaos like I believe that there is breath in my lungs. See, there's breath there. I believe it. So, don't test my belief in the theory of chaos. I believe in it more than I believe in most things. Because it exists. I've seen it. I live it every day. It's wonderful. I have fun. Wake up in the morning. And guess what? I do what I want. I do what I want. Yesterday, I wanted to chop somebody's head off. I did what I wanted. His head's in this box right here. It's a little heavy. He's got a big head. Hold on one second. Would you guys like to take a look and see? Hold on. I think you'll like this head. You've probably seen him on television before. I know I used to see him on television. Always talking nonsense. You know, he annoyed me. That's why I chopped his head off. Are you guys ready to see? I bet you're ready to see. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you what's in the box. But you have to promise me one thing. If I show you what's in the box, count of 5, I'm going to show you the contents of this box. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh shit. There's nothing in the box. Oh, that was fun. It was fun because, you know, imagine if there was a guy who actually took joy in cutting off heads and putting them in little pet shop bird boxes. I think I have a story about such a guy. They called him the Heads. No. Well, you know what? Why don't we just say he was a crazy guy who liked to chop people's heads off. It was in the newspaper a lot, you know, back in the days when we used to do it. It was terrible things. What was going on? You know, why would someone kill and take heads? Obviously, the reason was for trophies. And the manhunt began. Cameras were checked. People started walking in pairs. Think that things like this wouldn't happen. They had no motive. Bodies weren't beaten or stabbed. It was like he just took their head. I mean, how do you take someone's head? Just without a struggle, fight, ligature marks, struggle, fight, bruises, something, sign of struggle, anything, noise, scream, sawing of the neck, clean cuts, head gone, blood not so much. Had to investigate. Me having chopped heads off, I kind of knew the ins and outs of head choppery. Studied it. It's a very interesting subject of how to sever a head cleanly without sawing, making a mess. If you want to make it a trophy, you have to have vertebrae right above the last one there where your shoulders kind of start. You don't need that big one. It's kind of annoying. Trying to mount the skull onto a pedestal, you don't need all that. It's too long, pretty distinct. It's not like an oxtail bone. You know it's human. Anyway, my expertise, they put me right on the case. At Omen G, you find this person decapitating heads. We can't travel, tourism is down, we're not making any money. We need this stopped immediately. Can you do it? Of course. Cup of tea, so to speak.
2 cubes of sugar. No cream though. I like it straight, like Earl Grey. Most of the riffraff stuff that people who go fishing do, drink, smoke weed. Lots of it. Nuggets, dropping them all day. Pipes, bongs, vape machines. Fucking just throwing it in the goddamn coal oven and standing over the smokestack. Oh, bags and bags and pounds of it just burning away. Anyway, bought a few rounds of drinks and sat down at the bar. Pulled up a seat next to a young gentleman. Hadn't seen him there before. Caught my attention. Immediately asked him a few questions. Hey, fishing must be pretty tough out there. Storm coming in and everything. Didn't really speak to me. One word, yeah. Walked off. A little perturbed by this. His rudeness. Not necessary. He could have spoke. He didn't have to just walk away the way he did. I followed him. Drink in hand. I'm an alcoholic. Sorry. I like to get drunk, even while working. I think that's where the problem lies. Drank a little too much. He gets to talking about all types of stupid stuff that has absolutely... After I finished drinking, there's an ice cube in it. Smacked him in the eye and got a little alcohol in his eye. It stung. He was mad. He didn't care too much that I hit him with the glass, but it was the stinging of the eye that kind of really pissed him off. And he jumped over the table. I moved. He hit the floor, head first. Crack. Took me 2 swipes, but it wasn't clean. You can't hit the same swipe the second time unless you have machine-like precision. I started to think maybe the person shot cyborg robots that had disappeared, malfunctioned lately. Nobody wanted to answer my questions. It was always hush hush, knocking on doors. I saw them close them. They always twist your words. Anyway, besides, they're letting people get their heads chopped off. I mean, how good are they? That's why me, being private eye that I am, had to go check for myself to find out if it was really somebody that could be stopped. Well, of course, while I'm doing their job, they're doing nothing. Donuts, eating, delicious, Krispy Kreme, I think they call them, glazed. I had a couple myself. Put a piece of meat in between them. It was like the Boondocks cartoon. Except I didn't call it the Luther. I called it the Delicious. But we didn't come here to talk cuisine. We were talking about the case of the man chopping off heads cleanly, which might not be a man at all. Could be a machine. Of course, I did like the dude from that movie, I, Robot. I think his name was Will Smith. Hated robots. Just because I figured if I hate them, I might figure out some shit. Because it was like that in the movie, you know. Didn't work that way for me, though. Hating robots only got my ass kicked by robots. Constantly. Can't beat a robot because they're robots, you know. To be real with ourselves. We build them to be better. How are we going to beat them with our own little physical selves? And I didn't have time to go do shit like Edge of Tomorrow, get one of those little fucking robot suit things, punch them. So I stopped talking shit to robots. Try to be a little more tactful. You know, hung out where robots hang out. Oil bars. It's disgusting. Pouring oil over yourself, trying to pretend to be a robot. Taking shots of WD-40. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. I can tell you that. Farts are oily. They leak into your drawers. Smoke a cigarette. Stand a chance of combusting, catching on fire. Ass first. It's terrible. I've run around like an upside-down match. Wasn't fun. People don't help you. They assume things. Then don't have gas at the same time. Fart, shit's explosion. You go flying through the rear. Who is that guy? He's Flash, with a splash of Superman and Flame On guy. No, it's Detective Omen. He's been hanging at the old bar again, investigating another robot case. And he's an alcoholic. He probably drank some great alcohol. Set his pants on fire like he usually does. Fuck you, that's not what happened. Although the bar part is true, but You know what? Fuck you guys. Have information. It's about a robot named John. Yes, people, I use the word name John in my stories a lot because who's gonna forget fucking John or Jim or Tim or Tom? They're easy names to remember. So John and Jim and Tim and all those people, they're in my stories. I'm not prejudiced against Al or Charlie. They're good guys. I just don't know them very well. I might forget their names. Now, so now the light's on. I don't care if it's on, but I don't want it off. Anyhow, during my investigation, I found out about the robot John, who had a thing for, he had a thing for heads. He liked to wear his skin off. Wear it like a, clearly see that it's a mask because it sticks out. Well, that's what he was doing. Didn't really understand it too much. You know, it's like, dude, I've been sent to find out why you're doing this. I mean, I used to do it, but I'm human, so to me it was more of a thing for killing other humans. But you're a robot. You're just cutting off heads randomly, unless there's some science behind it. Curious, why? Of course, the robot doesn't talk. None of them do. They make beeps and whistles and whirs. And they print stuff. They speak to you in binary code and matrix type bullshit. You gotta plug in, talk to them. Well, I forgot my Neuralink, so that wasn't gonna happen. Press his power button, shut him off. Brought him home with me because I figured, hey, robot that likes chopping. They executed that guy. He was dying anyway. He told me he had cancer. So I kind of did him a favor. You know, he got really good health. Got final meal of his life. It was the best meal he ever had. He was happy about it. And then he died. So, you know, it's good, right? Like, to do stuff like that for people when you can. Anyway, you know, end of my story. Well, this particular story is that I had fun doing things with the little robot, and we talked and told people all types of stories, and everybody was happy about it. You know, we didn't have any problems with anybody else. If we did, we'd simply just cut off their heads. And that was that. Now, well, sometimes I'm asked, where do I get the stories about food and chicken and corn and things of that nature? Well, I think of things that I enjoy a lot. I think of what happens when I'm not allowed to enjoy them. That I put that feeling of not being able to enjoy it into the thing that I'm not able to enjoy anymore. And it embodies in musical fruit, they say. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So they tell you to eat beans at every meal. But wait, what if eating bean, they couldn't, there's no ending it, so the person pops. It's a violent explosion. It stinks terribly. Caught everywhere, and the person themselves explodes. So it's gross, and it stinks, all at the same time. It's body parts everywhere. People are screaming, oh my God, it's terrorists. No, it's beans. It's beans. They were made illegal. Couldn't have them. People didn't realize how much they wanted beans. All of a sudden they couldn't have beans, they wanted beans. Everybody wanted beans. It was fucking ridiculous. I had a stockpile of them, you know, because I used to eat tons of beans. I love rice and beans, so I always had beans. Didn't affect me the way it affected everybody else, so I still ate beans, even though they told me I wasn't supposed to eat beans, but they couldn't really tell me I couldn't eat beans because I wasn't at risk of exploding, so I ate beans. People would be knocking on my door, crying, please, woman, we know you have black beans and kidney beans. We even heard you have lima beans. We need beans. Dude, give you beans. You're gonna explode. Would you rather? Who am I to stop? I wouldn't even sell them to him. It's like, hey, I will give you this can of beans. In fact, I will supply your entire family with beans, even the children. But you have to promise me one thing. They say, what? Please. The beans, we need them. Anything. Anything. Take that type of an offer. But I do have an offer that is right up your alley. Well, guess what, folks? They agreed. I called it Spill the Beans. It's a great show. People would buy my beans. Woof. I had it on YouTube. Yeah, they tuned in. They tuned in by the billions. I mean, I even had people telling me to send them cans of beans just so they could explode on my show. I was flabbergasted. Dag nabbit. I could never see a million years where this would be something that was plausible. I made sure that I kept my bean supply full capacity. I had dug out an illegal garden. My beans. Beans, all I grew. Beans. It was so much fun. But it started to get old. You know, it's not as fun as someone who doesn't want to watch beans explode. So I would offer contests. Lifetime supply of beans for a family that brings. We'll force feed them beans and make them explode. Somehow, that to me was going to be more interesting. We tried it once. It wasn't fun at all. It was even more messy. The fighting and wiggling around makes the gas expand much faster. It even spreads it into different parts of the body. So now you have like this multiple explosion thing going on here. Both arms, pop, pop, legs, pop, pop. Since they're in sections, it's like pop, 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 like popcorn. Yeah. The head. Sometimes the pieces of meat would land on people's grills while they weren't looking. A lot of involuntary cannibalism went on during these time periods. It's terrible. You had these people craving meat they didn't understand that they were craving for. Bite their nails and accidentally chew a little bit on their finger. Next thing you know, they've eaten it up to the second knuckle. Bone and all. Crunching. Not feeling it. Somebody has to clobber them over the head with something. Calm them down. Call the ambulance. Take them to the hospital. Obviously, the first thing they're going to do is put them in a fucking straitjacket after they sedate them. This guy's crazy. He was eating his own finger. Who eats their own finger? Why? I don't know why. I have no answers. Mostly questions. Questions without answers are just questions without answers. There's no philosophical verbiage that makes any sense besides what I just said. People add and string together lines of dumb shit just to make themselves sound smarter. It's like I could say a whole bunch of words right now and sound like a fucking genius. Superfluous flow of the magnanimous extraterrestrial bullshit that just spewed from my mouth forth with tally-ho. I have lost my mind, people. I've lost it. I've completely lost my mind. You know, I've been sitting around watching these strange people walk to and fro. They go to the park and they sing songs with their families and laugh, joke, and play games. Look at me as if I'm strange because I have horns growing out of my head. I don't understand it. You know, it's not like I said, hey, give me the horns, people. I want horns growing out of my head. But that's what happens. Now, I have the munchies, as you already know, because, well, I have the munchies. Now, I plan on munching on something, what I don't know. It's early. It's only 10:20. Selling hot sauce, preferably. That's what I'd like to do. Or entertain you with scary stories, or chit-chat about, I don't know, I think I'm seeing ghosts and things. Then I don't like it so much. You know what I'm saying? Then it's not funny anymore. Because, like, who really wants to see ghosts? See, for whatever strange reason, I've been dreaming about this crypt. This first crypt we went to, because it's kind of like the door looks like it was open. right? And it's not locked. It's not locked at all. But I'm worried that if I open it, whatever's in the box. Girl. I did get drawn to that one. Maybe if I go back there, I might find some piece of evidence that leads us to Ghost Girl. In fact, while we're sitting here, unsolved missing person cases. So, missing person cases, Manchester, New Hampshire. And I'm gonna say between, let's say between 2000 and 2020. The most victimless cold case, blah 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 blah. Okay, so much person cases, blah 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 blah. Oh, we have 14 unsolved. Let's take a look, see if any of these look like, oh no, these are like shootings. I'm not trying to say that, nope, not looking for him. Nope, 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 nope. No. Nope. Wait. How old is this person? Oh, she's 80 years old. Damn, why are these old people going missing? Hell's wrong with these old people? Where are they going? Oh, goodness. Maine State Police, Kimberly Morrow, missing since 1986. 17-year-old Kimberly Morrow was last seen in jail at about midnight on May 9th, 1986 in the company of an individual she met earlier that day. She has not been seen since. Extensive searches have been conducted throughout the region. Foul play is suspected. Nope, that wouldn't be him. No, her hair is too dark. She's a baby. Why is this all Maine? I didn't ask about Maine people. I said Manchester, New Hampshire, not Maine. These are all Maine. But that girl does look like, you know, the girl I was saying. But it's obviously not her. I want to know about this place. No. No, no, no. No. Tammy Exeter. Oh. No, that's not her. This is weird because I'm looking at a lot of stuff here, people. I mean, you can't see it because I can't share my screen with you. There's some shit here. Oh, is in that damn fucking cemetery. I'm going to find out how she got there. Why she's there. I'm not going to rest until I figure it out. Because I want to know now. Who's this? No, that's not anything like that. You know, folks, I might have to let you go because there's a lot of names for people who are either unsolved missing people or unsolved murders. And waiting to find one are in that cemetery. There's a lot of lists. A long list. It's a huge list. It's a very long list, and I'm not gonna have you guys sitting here watching me go over a list. I'll probably watch Nuke's Top 5 or some shit. Then I'm gonna go to sleep. It's only 10:28. It's too early to go to sleep. Damn it. Well, if y'all want to hang here until I go make something to snack on, like a bowl of cereal, maybe some popcorn, thanks. That'll be cool. And I'll be right back. So I'll type that in the chat. Just in case anybody comes. It's like, where the fuck did this guy go? Dun 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 dun. No more candy. I like Cocoa Puffs. One of my favorite cereals. You know, taste them. I like Frosted Flakes. Love. Oh, being bored, I guess. tell you what I'm about to watch, or I'll tell you what I'm going to watch. And if you're this stuff that I'm about to watch with me, then hey, let's watch some shit together. Nuke's top 5. Let's see. What's on? What is on today? Let's see what's on. Let's see what's on. What do you think's gonna be on? You think we're gonna have some new stuff to watch? 10 DC horror stories. Oh, I'll watch that later because that's darkness. He doesn't like show anything. He reads stories in the dark. They're pretty cool most of the time. I like them anyway. They help me go to sleep. Alright, so let's see. What do we got here? Watch with me. Don't. Okay, you know what? I'm on the wrong thing. I forgot. I gotta go over to Safari. And then do it. No. Go to this one. Switch count. Yes, here we go. Now. King Frostmare came out with one 3 hours ago. No. Not gonna do that one. Lighthouse Horror 3 hours ago? No. Five chilling urban legends that freak me out. This is on the Top 5 Unknowns channel. So if you want to go to the Top 5 Unknowns channel while this ad is playing, I'll let the ad play.
Amazing success stories. Michelle, Journey.
When you find it,
This is something that I want to do for myself. With my first pregnancy, yes, I did probably go as high as
click on it.
But then with my second pregnancy, it really was just beyond it.
Alright, I'm skipping the ad. Press and pause. Bring it back. Now let's see what we got here. What's going on?
Horror films come and go, but urban legends stick around forever. From the legend of the Candyman to the
Guy's
legend
voice
of
is
the
a bit annoying, but
urban legends
let's
provide
see.
a terrifying insight into the paranormal and the unexplained. Sometime. Number 5.
Number 5.
If you're traveling along the roads of western Pennsylvania and he has no eyes, no nose, and no mouth, and a strange green glow to his skin, the legend has it that the Green Man was involved in an accident which led to his face and body looking very different from those around him. The story goes that the Green Man wanted to get a better look at a bird's nest. He climbed an electric pole and was shocked by the electricity. The shock was great enough to throw him from the pole, and when he landed on the ground, he lost both of his eyes, his nose, mouth, one ear, and one arm.
God damn.
His green skin is attributed to the electrical shocks that he suffered, and he was rumored by those living in western Pennsylvania to be living in an abandoned farmhouse away from the rest of society. He would only come out at night, believing that the darkness would keep him safe and prevent others from seeing it. The urban legend didn't hold much malevolence to it, but locals believed wholeheartedly that the Green Man was always lurking along State Route 351. It turns out that the Green Man is much more than an urban legend. He is a real person.
Oh shit.
The true identity of the Green Man. Robinson was injured in a terrible accident involving a bird's nest and an electrical pole. Doctors did not expect Robinson to survive his injuries. The lines that he had touched carried currents containing 1,200 volts and 22,000 volts, but he defied expectations and survived. Much like the urban legend, Robinson was left without eyes, a nose, or a right arm. As he got older, he became more reclusive and shut himself off from the outside world, believing that he was a monster. Instead, he would walk at night as he believed that if people couldn't see his face, he wouldn't scare them. Most people were kind to Robinson, chatting with him and offering him cigarettes and beers. After a while, Robinson became a local celebrity, and people would flock from all over the state to get a glimpse at the man they called Charlie No Face. Sadly, not everyone who came across Robinson treated him with respect. People were known to physically assault.org. Quote, he never discussed his injuries or his problems at all. It was just a reality and there was nothing he could do about it, so he never spoke about it. He never complained about anything. Raymond Robinson passed away in 1985 at age 74. While he may be gone now, his story will live on forever. Number 4.
Number
The
4.
urban legend and creepypasta titled The Alice Killings is a legend about a supposed serial killer that was active between 1999 and 2005 in Japan. The story claims that these crimes are amongst the most bizarre that Japanese police have ever come across, and to this day they've never been solved. They're called the Alice Killings because at each of the 5 crime scenes, a playing card was left with the word Alice written on them. While this is a creepy story with plenty of lore and family, a huge search was undertaken to find the Alice victims, only for them to be found days later with the playing card. The killer left behind little to no evidence, and this is how the urban legend began. The inspiration for the Alice 3. He seemingly chose his victims at random and would shoot them before fleeing the scene, but that wasn't before leaving behind an ominous playing card. His second victim, Juan Carlos Martin, Estacio, was found on February 5th with an ace near his body. At first, police believed this was just a coincidence. However, a month later, on March 7th, another victim was found, with yet another playing card by their body. The media latched onto the story and sensationalized the fact that cards had been left behind at the crime scene. He would go on to claim 6 being the elusive and became the inspiration for one of the creepiest urban legends. Number 3. For those who are based in Canada, you may have heard the story of a lawyer who had a penchant for throwing himself against the glass of his office windows to show his employees just how strong they were. Different versions of this story are told to show everyone how strong they were, and that he would always be protected. However, one day, one of the windows gave way and caused the lawyer to fall multiple floors before hitting the ground. Sadly, this urban legend is derived from a true story of Toronto lawyer Gary Hoy, TD Center, and Hoy would frequently entertain colleagues by running at the windows to demonstrate how strong and safe they were. On July 9, 1993, Hoy would perform this party trick for the last time. As law students entered the firm's office for the work experience, Hoy wanted to put on a show. He ran at the window and body checked it, and much to the amazement of the students, nothing happened. He ran at the window for a second time, and the glass popped out of the frame, causing Hoy to fall 24 floors. Newspapers in Toronto covered that, quote, I don't know of any building code in the world that would allow a 160-pound man to run up against a glass and be able to withstand it. Colleagues at Holden Day Wilson Law Firm described Hoy as one of our best and brightest.
Not really. If he's running into...
VHS tapes. Well, this rad VCR...
Nope.
There are a few iterations of the Bunny Man urban legend, because the story was passed around by word of mouth during the 1970s in Fairfax County, Virginia. Those in Fairfax are warned about never venturing to Colchester Overpass on Colchester Road, as they might be visited by the Bunny Man. The story says that in 1904, a bus full of patients from a nearby mental hospital were being transported to another facility after residents of Clifton expressed their concerns about having such a facility so close to their community. The residents were horrified to learn that the bus tasked with transporting the patients had been involved in a crash and one of them had escaped. The patient was rumored to have been surviving on rabbits and had left their remains near the Colchester Overpass of a developmental patient, who from then on to 1970. When Cadet Robert Midnight, the pair returned to their car after visiting a relative who lived close by. According to the net, he parked the car in a field as the relative they were visiting lived just across the way. As he started the car, he saw something moving behind him. Before they had a moment to process what they had just seen, their windscreen was hit by a hatchet, smashing into thousands of pieces. All the while, the couple were frozen in fear in their seats. The net recalled seeing a man dressed in a white suit, complete with bunny ears. He screamed at them, "You're on private property and I have your tag number." As the couple sped away, they saw that there was a hatchet on the floor of their car. 2 days later, on October 29th, the bunny man was spotted again, this time by security guard Paul Phillips. Phillips worked as a security guard for a construction business that was building homes in the area. According to Phillips, he was carrying out his rounds as usual when he saw a man standing in the doorway of an unfinished home. He described the man as 5'8", 175 pounds, and wearing a black, gray, and white bunny suit. As Phillips got closer, he realized the man was swinging along his neck with an ominous reply. When the bunny man opened his mouth and said, "You're trespassing. If you come any closer, I'll chop off your head." The bunny man was estimated to be in his early 20s, and despite a full investigation, the Fairfax Police Department were unable to confirm his identity. All they know is that the bunny man is quite possibly still out there.
Are vegans healthy? I'm vegetarian.
Thank you all for watching.
French fries and beer are vegan.
I'm probably gonna watch
So you
this.
But seriously,
Put on some more
the
to
easy
speedy and
part
take
for
my ass
most
to
of my
sleep.
clients who go vegan or
You guys have a
vegetarian
good
is
night.
cutting out the meat. What they forgot to include is the micronutrients. Let's take a look at the 11